Honesty, you brought this to my face. When you feel my truth, but being one to hear those niggas out. Keep going, keep going. Yeah. Here we go, keep going, keep going. God didn't know him that well, but and me doing crack sales.
I like that, champ.
Yeah, for sure.
What up, what up, what up? Man, you know where you at, man. You done reached Lew and Los podcast. I think they lost their mind. You got your host, Los, and your man.
You got me, Lew, baby.
Yeah, man, listen. How you feeling, Lew?
I feel good, baby. How about yourself?
Man, I can't complain, man. Listen, on this episode, man, we're going to speak highly about give it a moment of clarity, I feel like.
For sure.
You get what I'm saying? We give it a moment of clarity.
For sure.
Speak to people about saving yourself, champ.
Saving yourself.
You gotta save yourself, man. Out here, man, I just feel like you gotta save yourself. How you feeling though, man?
I feel good, King. It's been another week with some highlights.
Ooh, with some highlights.
It's been another week.
Man, absolutely. What you talking?
We're gonna dive into a Shedeur Sanders situation. Give our perspective of that.
That was crazy, man. That was crazy.
Absolutely. That's been the hot topic all week.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And why has it been a hot topic? Why you think, King?
What you think?
Go ahead.
Man, I really think just because we're not noticing. I just think that it's to a point where we speaking truth to know what we really mean to America.
That's what it is?
I mean, we could talk sports, but I think that it's a bigger picture to the madness.
Okay.
To the madness. So therefore, they're allowing this young athlete, Shedeur Sanders' son, you know what I mean, to understand that at the end of the day, this a business, but this ain't our business. So I think they're trying to prove a point.
You think so?
Be honest with you.
They trying to prove a point, or they proved the point?
I mean, I think proving a point would have been not drafting him at all and forcing him to walk on the team or something of that sort, or just eliminating him out of the league, period. So I think they still need him, still would like the clout or the branding to a certain extent, but they want it by all costs on their time, not on his.
So, okay, well, let me ask. So you think it was more about Shedeur or his father?
Absolutely. I think it was more so, I'm sorry. I think it was more so about Shedeur Sanders.
Okay. Well,
to a certain extent. I think it was kind of I wouldn't say 50-50. But I think it was 75-25, which being Shedeur 75, them hating on, Shedeur Sanders, and them feeling like, I believe what kind of was the wrench to all of this. I remember reading an article maybe back in February, prior to the NFL Combine. They was, inquiring about Shedeur, going to whatever team. And I think he made a statement, just like Archie Manning with Peyton Manning and Eli, that, he want him to go to a certain franchise, or, a certain franchise he don't want him to go to. And I think they took that to heart.
I mean, but do you think that, here's the thing I'm asking, right? So the question I'm asking you is a couple things. Do you think he should have got drafted in the fifth round? Number one.
Absolutely not.
All right, cool. In your perspective, when you think he should have got drafted?
I would say in the first, at least second round.
All right. Do you think that his dad himself thought that he was better than what he really was? And what I mean by that is he can do certain things as used, for example, what's my guy's name? He did it. Let's say what's my man to pay for USC? He just got to the NFL.
USC?
Yes, the quarterback. He just got drafted. What is his name?
Caleb Williams. I mean,
yeah. You think that he had the same skill level, talent he has? Because he probably could have did that, right? But Shedeur didn't have the ability. As far as number one, he went in. They say he didn't have a strong arm.
Right.
The quarterback draft, this class was not as talented as usual.
Absolutely.
So do you think that he felt overconfident that he had the abilities that the other elite quarterbacks in the past had, that he could have did that?
I wouldn't say overconfident. I mean, because we have reality, but at the same time, you are your only advocate for how great your game is.
Right.
And so I feel like, him being confident about his game, he felt like he was the best. I mean, even him and Cam Ward had some, workouts together and they talked trash towards each other saying, I'm better than you, I'm better than you. So I don't think him being a player, he's going to step down and say anyone was better than him.
Do you think that he was unfocused?
I wouldn't say unfocused. No, I just think that he wasn't the NFL. He wasn't the face for the NFL. You know what I mean? I don't think they felt the need to put him in that position. And again, because of what his dad said, even though Archie Manning, said that when it came down to the LA Chargers, he didn't want his son playing for them. So therefore, I just think that it was viewed in a different light, that it was more so arrogance versus just his father putting his 2 cents in to say, this way I want my son, or this way I wouldn't want my son to play.
Right. I think it had a lot to do with, race has a lot to do with it.
Absolutely.
To me personally, I feel like, listen, Johnny Manziel had all them issues and still got drafted high.
Right.
Could it be that it's more of he going off of his clout or who he is for his father name versus the talent?
I would say I don't think he's going off his father name. I think he's a talented kid in his own way. I think all of the quarterbacks that was in the draft got things that they need to work on. So I wouldn't say that he trash.
No,
I really would say in the draft he was. In that draft, I would say he was top 5. Just getting out of the 5, he was top 5.
Right.
But I do think that the reason why he was chosen, in the 5th round is just because of who he was and where they came from.
Well, I'll say this now. We can move to the next highlight. I'll say 2 things. To me, it was a sign of this: how back in the days to take the slave. I believe it was called bucking, right? When they take the strongest slave and they break them down to send a message that I don't care who you are, who you think you are, bro, you're not bigger than the system. And I think Jay-Z said it the best in the song. No matter who you think you are, right? In that song, what was it, OJ? How'd that song go?
White nigga, dog nigga, faux nigga, real nigga, rich nigga, poor nigga, house nigga, field
Say
nigga.
what? Still nigga.
I get it.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Good. That's why I think the message was. No matter who you think you are, you still a nigga.
Yeah,
I don't care who your father is.
Yeah.
You're a nigga.
I mean, but the thing about it is, I'm gonna ask you on a business aspect, would you have drafted him? If it was your team, would you have drafted him?
If I felt like I needed a quarterback, and I felt like he was the best option on the team,
Okay.
I probably would have drafted him. But I think that by not drafting him, they took him in the round. It humbled him.
Well, I mean, I wasn't worried about the humbling, and I get the humbling. You can't humble, to be honest with you, in my mind, you can't humble a person that is the type, Deion said his son, the things of that stuff. You can't humble him.
Yes, you can.
Well, the reason why I'm gonna say this because your personality, you can be humble to a certain extent, but you still gonna be who you are. And I think that's what they trying to take away from him. I don't think that there's nothing wrong with him.
Yeah.
I think on a business level, I'm going to draft him. You know why? Because he's already branded himself.
For sure.
And he have a great following.
1,000%.
Right? He's not a kid that he don't drink. You don't see him in strip clubs. You see him around family. So therefore, I think if this is a business, as the NFL say it is, let's stop taking things personal and let's do the business aspect of it. How many jerseys you think? I know a lot of people that even said to me, I'm going to buy his jersey just because of what transpired.
Well, he's already has the #1 pre-order jersey.
Why wouldn't he?
But it reminds me of LeBron James' son too as well. Right? Because at the end of the day, no matter what it was, he had the highest #1 jersey in the NBA.
So they still tried to humble him.
Who?
I'm just saying, they're trying to humble Shedeur.
Okay.
But then you see, what you say? What you just said?
It's still a business.
It's still a business.
Still a business.
So therefore, what way are you humbling him?
But it did because 2 things. How I humbled him. Yeah, we're going to make you work for us because he's an employee. I don't care who he.
But guess what? He is still in the NFL.
Yes, but you know how you can humble him. Listen, it's a difference between being. If you're a dog, if you're that guy. Yes, I want to be in the league, but I want to play.
He's still going to prove you that guy.
I'm not saying he's not.
You got Joe Flacco. You got.
Don't matter.
You don't. I mean, you have experienced quarterback. Nothing against Joe Flacco. He's definitely an experienced quarterback. But Shedeur is going to show them Why they, especially all the
But he
other
also got
teams.
Pickens too, though.
I mean, yeah, but who is he? What has he done lately?
I got you.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
And they still got my man hand job, yo.
I mean, call it what you want, but hand job, yo, ain't playing.
You're not.
You know, and I don't think he's gonna play again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's whether it's injuries or whether because he got a problem.
Got you. Well, with
But
that being said, we're gonna
let's-
pass forward, move forward.
what you got?
What you think? Let's get to the topic of the day.
Okay, what's the topic?
I'm not gonna save you.
Not gonna save you.
No
Okay.
one's gonna save you.
No one's gonna save you.
And
You
I
can only
wanted to
save
add. I
yourself.
wanted to add in that no one's coming.
Ooh, no one's coming. Okay.
No one's coming.
No one's coming to save you.
No.
Yeah, I like that. I like
No.
that. So what's your take on it? What you think this title of the episode mean to you?
For me personally, I think it spans in so many different directions that no matter what situation you put yourself in, whether it's trying to find peace or figuring out what you're going to do with your direction in your life, at the end of the day, the decision is yours, right? No one's going to come and save you. You have to make sure you put yourself in a position to be successful at any cost, right? Whether it's been dealing with peace. Let's talk about peace, right? How do you get your peace? Go ahead.
I mean, to be honest with you, first of all, my mind have to be clear. I
Right.
can't have a cloudy mind.
Mhm.
So it's crazy that you asked that because I've been learning, and this has been recently, not to lay in my own misery.
Mm.
You know, so I think sometimes we get stuck, and this is with anyone, and I'm sure people get in the funk.
Right.
You know, you're depressed, anxiety to the highest level. But I think this title really ties into you being selfish, worrying about yourself. I can't be, if I don't have a clear mind and my mind is cloudy, there's no way that I can help out anyone else or take on anyone else's situation if mine not, my mental is not clear.
Right.
And to be honest with you, just what I have done, the past few weeks, I had this like 21 days thing, right? So I was kind of reading up on something, and they basically said for 21 days, whether it's good or a bad habit, you create a habit, right? So I feel like my 21 days is obviously working on good habits. So it's just certain things that I'm projecting myself to do in order to keep a clear mind.
For sure.
That's first thing. Waking up is the beauty. It's just a beautiful thing. Just waking up, just being grateful for just waking up, because we have so many people that don't wake up.
For sure.
So just waking up, that's my first thing to be grateful about. You get them, and then from then on, getting on the knees and just being able to, being able to walk, being able to talk,
Right.
being able to, walk around my house.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I think it's just sometimes the small things we gotta understand that we gotta appreciate the small wins, because there's certain people that's unable to experience that.
Yeah. I'm gonna address something. I'm gonna be professional though. Like you definitely said, just get down on the knees. I'm gonna be professional.
there you go.
I'm gonna be professional.
There you go.
Be professional. But I agree with that 100%.
And I'm saying get down on your knees and pray.
No, I got you. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure we highlight that.
Okay.
But I'm gonna be professional.
Okay,
Though.
yeah, I want you to.
All right, cool. But no, I agree with that though, King, because I think that oftentimes we was taught that being selfish was a bad thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They teach us that being selfish is a bad thing. But as you just said in the morning, if you don't find a way to find peace for yourself, you're already starting your day with chaos.
Absolutely.
The first thing you do, if you grab the phone and you start your day with the phone and you embrace whatever's on the phone, the day's already started in a bad perspective. You know what I mean? So I think that to get peace, like for me in the morning myself, just to touch on that, I think that's why I do like these postcards, right?
Okay.
And sometimes people think the message is like I just post it, but sometimes the message be for me. Because sometimes you got to talk to yourself to say, you know what, I'm not in a good space, right? I need to find peace because I'm being poured in so many different directions. So in sometimes family, relationships, your job, you have to find a moment to find peace, even if it's taking a walk or just sitting in solitude. You know what I mean? Some people like to do meditation. That's your thing, cool. But you got to find peace in the world of chaos, and you got to be selfish. So whoever tell you it's not okay being selfish, nah, I don't agree with that. I believe that you have to be selfish in order to be the best version of who you can be for whoever you need to be for.
Yeah, I mean, and I think, man, you spoke about this before, as far as not even taking calls before 9 o'clock.
Facts.
if you're calling me about something negative, if it's not emergency involving my kids
Mm-hmm.
that I need to obviously be a part of or things of that such.
Mm-hmm.
Some people call you just to gossip. So
Yeah.
if it's just early in the morning, I'm trying to find my peace. I'm driving to work and I'm getting phone calls
Yeah.
about situations that really don't involve me.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay not to answer
Yeah.
your phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is, some people will feel like it's rude. Someone's calling and you not answering.
Mm-hmm.
But some phone calls, you just don't need to answer.
Yeah.
Because people drain you, man. People can drain the life out of you.
Bro,
And
crazy.
I feel like, at times I'm a victim of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a victim of it, but I make myself the victim because I try to take on so many of people's issues
Mm-hmm.
versus dealing with my own.
Look, let me add to that though. Two things. That's a phenomenal. I think that two things. I think that we gotta be careful with taking on other people's problems because you also could be blocking that blessing.
Right.
And that blessing may be God trying to show them something. And here you come being the problem solver,
Rescuing them.
trying to solve their problem. God
Absolutely.
ain't make you no superhero.
Yeah, absolutely.
He make you to be effective to people and help those that you can. But how can you help if I'm suffering?
Right.
You know what I mean? If my mental not clarity, if my anxiety's through the roof, bro, nah, you need help. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta be careful with the energy that we absorb, right? So if a person can't respect, I'll call you back in about 2 hours. I'm getting my peace of mind right now. And they can't respect it, then I don't know what to tell them.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what
because
I'm
it's
saying?
at a point where you, like I said, you trying to find your peace.
Yeah.
And I mean, just having that moment of clarity
Yeah.
for yourself,
Yeah.
and understanding,
Yeah.
where you are, man,
Yeah.
is a blessing to, again, even wake up in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because these are things that, I don't think we appreciate enough.
Yeah.
Just life itself.
For sure.
Just understanding that whether we got the amount of money we want or whether we're in the position that we want to be in, just understanding that God gave us life.
For sure.
Just another day. So it kind of kills me, you know what I mean, when sometimes, people try to block your peace or people feel like you're wrong for, not being, I guess they feel like you're not being understanding of their issues.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, I don't want to hear your issues.
Absolutely.
Because even if we hear the issues and not even physically take on the issues, sometimes mentally we're taking on the issues or we feeling a certain type of way or thinking about what that person going through versus ourselves.
Absolutely. In addition to that too, we gotta be mindful too though. And I like the fact you said that, bro. We take small things for granted. Right. So we think that we got unlimited time.
Absolutely.
And the fact that you said it is so amazing. Another thing I'll say is too is we can't take a moment of frustration and make it the whole entire day.
Yeah.
That's just a moment, bro.
You lost a day.
That's just, bro, you're allowing 10 minutes to take over 23 hours of the rest of the day.
Is it really worth it?
It's one moment. Process that moment. Let's move on to the next one. Right? Don't get so consumed in what your problem is or what the moment is. It can always be worse than what you got. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, I always tell God, thank you for what you're trying to show me in this season. Whatever season this is it for me, continue to guide me and protect me as I learn what you're trying to teach.
And my prayer is I always say it's just something simple as God, whatever you're doing in this season, please don't do it without me.
That's what you always say.
I always say that. And I mean that. And the reason being because, sometimes we're in the season in our life, we don't understand the storm, but once we get through the storm, sometimes we can't understand it right then and there. When you're sitting in a storm, when you're in the middle of a storm, you're not understanding of it until you get out of that storm. And then you see what the lesson was. What was the lesson that was taught? So I think sometimes we just got to be patient. You can't solve a problem sometimes in the same day that you get it. Sometimes it takes time, just like building a house. You can't build a house in one day. I never saw no one do it. You can't do certain things in one day. It takes time. Respect the process. And the thing about it is, whether it hurts you or not, you just got to get through it in some way. But know that it's going to bring, when you come out of it, you're going to be so much stronger. I've talked to one of my good friends, man, and he shared something with me that someone shared with him. And it was about, that cup of water. And I think a lot of us, we do wrong by giving what's in our cup. We're not supposed to technically give, especially to outsiders, not immediate family. And when I say immediate family, people that's in your household. you got a cup of water. You don't supposed to give anyone what's in your cup. That's how you live. That's your life. What you supposed to give and what's the overflow. The overflow, if you want to give something, that's what you give. A lot of us, we have water in our cup and we want to give what's in our cup. And as we give what's in our cup, no one is pouring into our cup. So just imagine someone draining the life out of you and you not being able to give you anything. You can't give you. I got to focus on me. I can only protect me. You can protect me in a physical manner, but you can't protect my mental, champ.
For sure.
You can only support it.
For sure.
So the thing about it is, I think people have to understand that me being selfish for myself or you being selfish for yourself, you deserve to be selfish. You have to clear up your cloudy mind. If you don't clear up your cloudy mind, you're not going to be able to help them and give them great advice or great encouragement. Just imagine, and I talk to you sometimes. I check on you a lot because you're when it comes down to business, at the gym and everything, and that's why your gym is so, man, it's so amazing because working out with you is not just a workout.
For sure.
We sit there and talk. I could bring you my problems. We could discuss our problems, but the thing about it is sometimes when you are so giving and always willing to hear somebody and problem solve, who is there to solve yours?
That's a good question.
Who is there to solve your issues?
That's a good question.
Who is there to give you advice? So you're steady pouring into so many people. So that's why I gotta check on you like, man, you good.
Yeah.
What you need,
For
what
sure.
support you need, what encouragement you need. And that's it. What encourages you though?
A couple of things, bro. I think that being a help to others, for sure. You know what I mean? Definitely, that's a very good question. And what encouraged me is knowing the people who I affect, it matters to them.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? And being able to leave an impression, because your life is about being able to leave a legacy or being able to touch lives, right? So when you're able to touch lives and being effective to people, but for me personally, knowing my sign, that's fulfilled. Knowing my love languages is important for me. And what also touches me is words of affirmation. Right? Gifts are not really my thing. I'm cool with that, but words of affirmation. So if you like, yo, bro, I love you, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? To me, that would mean more than 10 gifts you could have gave me, because that means everything to me. That means I see you. That means I appreciate you. That means I can see the work that you do, or your significant other telling you, baby, I love you, babe. You know what I'm saying? You just say, I love what you do for the family. So that for me gives me my fulfillment, my recharge. That's
And
my recharge. My dad, I told you
Yep.
earlier, my dad had told me today. I mean, I was like smiling like a kid. You know what I'm saying? How much he's proud of me, what he see that I'm doing, where I'm at in my life. It meant everything to me, because that's why we do it. I want to make you proud of the man that I became. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to me, that's what it is. Today's episode is brought to you by LO13 Fitness, where purpose meets performance. At LO13 Fitness, we don't just train the bodies, we transform the lives. Whether you're a beginner, start your journey, or athlete looking to level up, at LO13 we offer customized plans, accountability, and real results. This isn't just a gym, it's a movement, a family, a lifestyle. If you're in the Baltimore area looking for a trainer versus virtual or in person, you can follow us on Instagram at lo13fitness.com, as well as the website, which is lo13fitness.com. We appreciate you, and remember, we got work to do. Likewise for you.
Well, I mean, words of affirmation, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, because everybody want to feel appreciated.
1000%.
And I'm one, you don't have to give me gifts. I'm just one to be appreciated. Thank you. I love you. I appreciate you, things of that such. But to touch on that, I really think, at times, we just gotta, we're so hard on ourselves. And I think when we have someone that see the hard work that we do, that makes us feel good, because sometimes we forget. We forget how hard we work. We forget, how what hustle we have to make that next dollar.
Yeah.
So I think the words of affirmation definitely for me, and it makes me feel good, man. I mean, even certain times where I feel down and I'm not feeling it that day. I had to remind myself I'm here for a reason. God has a purpose, and I was speaking to Ma earlier. Me and Ma was speaking, and I said to Ma, we were just talking about. I was explaining about how my purpose here on life is a big deal. And the reason being, back in December, 9th, 2012, man, a young cat almost took my life.
For sure.
He almost took my life. So therefore, God saved me for a certain reason. And he kept me for a certain reason. And I think sometimes I forget that. This is my second life, champ. This is my second life. I done had, certain things that go on in my life, but this was my second life. Taking bullets, and not being able to control the situation, man, that's a tough time.
For sure.
But once you get out of that storm, and that was my storm. Once I got out of that storm, man, life started changing in so many different directions where I had to understand what I was doing and where I was going.
Right.
So I think God didn't keep me here just to, have me in vain or have me living in hell. He kept me here, man, to help others and to help. Episode is brought to you by our sponsors, Cameo Consulting Company, a security agency and private detective agency within the state of Maryland and Washington, D.C., where our goal is to provide outstanding services, protection for our clients, and we are determined to build and establish a relationship within the community and businesses in need of our services. We are also MBE, DBE, and SBE certified through the state of Maryland. The services we provide are bodyguard and asset protection, executive protection, funeral details, patrol services and event security, private investigation, and surveillance. We look forward to providing you with our outstanding services and making your needs our priority. Our Instagram is Cameo Consultant Co. Facebook, Cameo Consultant Company. Our website is www.cameoconsultantco.com. And the phone number to reach us is 443-415-9636. And to help myself.
Nah, for sure, King. But one of the things I want to say is 24 lows cannot compete with 25 lows. Right? 25 lows, when I realize, and when you speak about the 21 days and working on yourself and your anxiety, this has been probably the best year that you have fully focused on peace. Right? With navigating the business, navigating your family, and being pulled in so many different directions. I think that you have got a really good understanding and working on your anxiety. And this year, bro, you have really done a phenomenal job with that, because I know it's not always easy, right? How to deal with that, right? Anxiety can be one of the things that it's hard for everybody to deal with. And figuring how, not necessarily how to stop it, but how to control it, how to minimize it, right? But I think for you, 25 has been a phenomenal year as far as minimizing and controlling the best way that you could without being controlled by it.
And I think, I mean, it's simply me protecting my peace, though. It's simply me protecting my peace. And again, I'm so big on appeasing everybody.
For sure.
And that's where, people get mad at me for protecting my peace. But like, yo, by all costs, that's all I need. That's what I need to do to continue to survive.
Right.
To continue to survive. Yeah, that's what it.
Well, no, I think that too. And I also think that understanding how important it is to have peace. Right. And figuring out how to be able to implement that, right, into your daily routine, even though you may have a hectic day. Right. So I think that's important to realize I need a moment of clarity. Right. No one's gonna save me. And I gotta save myself for myself. So I need to get a moment of clarity. Right. Because if not, bro, you're going allow yourself to go crazy by doing so much chaos at one time. Yeah. Right. But that's why it's important. So shout out to you for that, bro. Absolutely. We acknowledge it. Appreciate you. Definitely acknowledge it. If you ever said, I'm gonna give you some word of affirmation. But it's important to reinstall that back into ourselves. I need peace. Not today. I'll call you back. Yep. I need my peace.
And yo, I mean, and it's cool to feel that way, man. It's cool to feel that way. And don't feel, don't put the pressure on yourself. I think, like I was saying before, at times I feel like we put so much pressure on ourselves, and we are so much of our toughest critics. But sometimes, man, it's okay to just chill back and just do a self-care day. I've been saying, a lot of people just been doing a self-care day, man. Just removing yourself from so many situations, taking a break from social
Yeah,
media,
yeah.
and because that consumes us a lot.
Mhm.
Social media is the new thing, and it consumes us a lot, and sometimes it takes away from our productivity.
For sure.
It
For
takes
sure.
away from it.
But let me add to that, to what your point was, is you can be your worst critic, but also be your biggest friend. Right? You know what I'm saying? So don't destroy yourself without building yourself back up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Going back to the piece, you know what I mean? So that's important for me with that, understanding that I understand we're going to be hard on ourselves because you're your worst critic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, give yourself the same praise when it's needed.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
hopefully with this episode and episode 5 was about understanding, getting a moment of clarity.
Absolutely.
No one's coming to save you. In addition to that, save yourself from yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, that's important.
Yeah.
And if you need a moment in your schedule, find peace. However you find peace. It can be detaching yourself from your cell phone for a moment. It can be taking a walk, which is also a good clarity, right? Whatever gives you peace, right? Take it. And it's okay to be selfish, right? Especially when it requires being selfish also promotes the best version of yourself. So if you need to be selfish, if you need to find peace, please do so.
And to be honest with you, I think sometimes we need to feel accomplished, right? So at times, it's okay to write down, short-term goals and long-term goals. We learned that in school. Short-term goals, long-term goals. If you had your short-term goals made within a day, 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, or within a week, within a few months, that's your short-term goals. And then your long-term goals, you want to do it a little, at the 6 months within the next, year or two, just to kind of get yourself on a page where you got to define your purpose in life, right? And the way to define your purpose in life is trying to accomplish things a little at a time, right? So if you set your goal, for within the next 24 hours, I'm going to do this, or within the next 72 hours, I'm going to do that. Basically, you have checked off the list and you feel better about yourself because you feel so much more accomplished.
So let's say if a person asks you, right? And that's real good. How you find your purpose? How did you find your purpose? Or did you find your purpose?
I felt like I found, my purpose in life. And again, I think it's just, being so supportive and being active in others' lives, being strong for others, or, me going through so many storms, being that person to allow someone or assist someone with getting through their storm without enabling them. Because we, tend to do that where, again, you said where somebody could come and be going through their own storm and you assisting them, it can be taken away from what they got from that storm because you're always bailing them out. So I think my purpose is just, obviously to help others, but just be that support. Sometimes even not helping, just being there.
For sure.
Being there for someone. How about you?
I think for me, man, I think that in this phase of my life where I'm at now, I think that my purpose is to promote God's message through the best way that I can, right? And that's being an advocate through training, right? When I meet these so many different people, you gotta think. To me personally, personal training is like any other thing, like going to the church, the hospital. It's about getting somebody and them needing rehabilitation versus physical or mental, right? I think that that's one of my purpose. I think also being a listener, a messenger, right? To me, I think I don't know everything, but I can give a person what I've been through and how I navigate through that. So I think my purpose is promoting God's message through the tools and the skills He gave me to.
Right.
And that's been leadership, training, a brother, or just being an open ear. So using the ability He gave me to affect change in the world in the way that He taught me.
Absolutely.
You know
No,
what I mean?
I agree. I agree.
So
yeah, but I mean, if you're listening and you need to take some time, man, the Lew and Los podcast is telling you, take time for yourself. Clear your mind. Don't react or act on a cloudy mind. And it's okay not to answer that phone. Take yourself away from social media and just give yourself a self-care day. Self-care day. I'm telling you, remind yourself self-care day.
Self-care day.
Yeah,
and with that, we're going to switch a little bit.
We're going to switch it up.
Right? And I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Okay,
Here we go.
what you got?
Bro, what's the deal with the Lakers?
Hey, listen. Obviously, everybody know that know me. I'm a LeBron fan, right? But I'm gonna be honest with you, champ. The way I saw that game, the last few games, man, it's getting complicated. You
Mm.
know, those young boys taking over the game.
Are they going home?
They so fast. Me being a fan, I'm gonna say the Lakers in 7.
Okay, so are you being a fan or you just being naive? Are you being Uncle Shannon Sharp or you just being naive?
Well, one thing I can say is definitely not Uncle Shannon Sharp.
Oh,
Watch
okay.
that. Whoa, champ. Oh no, I'm not being Uncle
Too
Shannon
soon?
Sharp.
Too soon? All right, cool.
So
Go
basically,
ahead.
what I am saying is, if they take one game at a time, and JJ got a strategy, which I think he could pull it out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Strategy,
Help
but
me.
the only thing is, the Lakers in 7. But I'm just a little afraid of what's the second round.
Right,
We make it through the first round. Are we going to be so exhausted
right.
where we're not even going to be able to get through the second round?
Right.
That's the worry.
I'm gonna be professional again though. But you say JJ gonna pull it out of him. It's crazy.
Woo,
But
pause.
I'm gonna be professional though.
Hey, listen. Well, it's you to support me
Yeah.
when I say so. For some reason, during this episode, you usually catch the pauses right then and there.
I've been being professional.
But
Because last time you wanted to be a clown.
You have been being very professional
been
with telling me
professional.
after the fact.
Yeah.
But then when you repeat it, now we got 2 pauses in the building.
I'm letting you know that you're a pause.
Okay.
But anywho,
You a
cool.
whole pause,
So
though.
Lakers going home. So you said Lakers going to the next round.
Lakers going to the next
All right,
round.
cool.
They
Boom.
take one game at a time.
Bro, what's the deal with them Heat? What happened?
Oh man, I just don't. What happened is Jimmy Butler.
So you think
It showed them that's what they missing.
Okay.
They missing playoff Jimmy.
Okay.
Hero, great player, but he's not a player that can carry the team. He needs some things around him in order to make it happen.
Yep. Role player?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So OKC go next round.
OKC going next round.
Clippers and right now it's 3-2. It's 3-2.
Yeah.
Clippers is down 1.
Yeah.
Clippers go home or is it going 7?
I'm gonna say this. Can I say this?
Bro, you're gonna do it anyway.
We're gonna talk about Murray. Murray, I think the other night had 43 points.
Yeah, 43.
He had 43. So the thing about that is, what I said from the last episode, he was inconsistent Joe.
Okay.
If he played that way throughout the rest of the playoffs, hey, they contend for the championship.
So you saying I'm confused. So you saying
what I am saying is, if inconsistent Joe is not, is consistent, they're going to clear the first round. They're going to beat the LA Clippers.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, Leonard is playing good ball right now.
Right.
Harden, he turning into a little bit inconsistent.
Got you.
You know what I mean? Because the points he wasn't with. But if they had to play, all they got Jamal Murray, Porter, they gotta play a part.
Okay.
If they don't, we see what happens.
So once again,
I chose the Clippers. So I'm gonna go with what my choice was.
So it's going to 7.
I'm gonna go with the Clippers. It's going to 7.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So okay, cool. So it's 3-2. Clippers going home. All right, cool.
Okay.
Got you. All right, Clippers going home. Give me your predictions right now, for they can hear you. Championship. Who is it? East and West. Who you got? And who you got coming out of the West?
All right. Who I got coming out the West is Golden State.
Golden State gonna beat OKC?
I got Golden State coming out the West. I think OKC.
Whoa. So what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I got Golden. Man, you gotta understand, man.
No, you ain't gotta explain. No, I got you. Okay, cool. Go ahead. OKC is okay. You say who?
I say Golden State.
Golden State
coming
cool.
out the West.
I got OKC.
Okay.
Cool. Perfect.
Out the East. Man, I think Boston, they consistent. Their chemistry. I want Donovan Mitchell to be able to get a ring.
Right.
I want the Cavaliers to come out of the East.
Right.
But I know that Boston is a tough cookie, and they're well, I'm gonna say this.
What is it?
We'll see how second round go. Let's go round for round, man. You trying to get me out? I gotta see what they do. I gotta see what East is what I'm worried about right now. LeBron and them going game 7. Second round is gonna be tough for them because they tired and their bench is trash.
Bro, LeBron is not going in the second round. Bro.
He going second round.
There's a point of delusion, and there's a point of being naive. So which one are you?
Neither.
Okay. All right, cool. Y'all heard the prediction. What do you say?
Absolutely.
right? Listen, we appreciate y'all for episode 5.
What you want them?
Getting your peace.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Moment of clarity. And it's okay to be selfish.
It's okay.
I want you to take those things from episode 5 today.
Absolutely.
And with that being said, we like for you to
like, share, comment, and subscribe.
One more time.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to
Absolutely.
at Lew and Los podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Each and every Friday, we drop a pod.
Absolutely.
Don't be the one who watch it.
Don't be the one
and
who watch
don't subscribe and hit the bell button.
That make me feel some
right here.
way.
That button right here.
Absolutely.
Hit the button.
Hit that button.
Subscribe to the pod.
Absolutely.
And with that,
we out.
We out.
Woo!
Beginning to that black belt. Listen close, you hear what I'm about.